Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now, yesterday I had a video up which included a portion of Ace Magashula's speech to the press corps, and where he talked about quantitative easing with the Reserve Bank to help South Africa through the hard times. Well, quantitative easing is, in layman's terms, just printing money. Buying yourself out of trouble. And you know what's happened to the rand since he said that? It's hit a new milestone, and I've got the image to prove it. I'll show that image first, and then we'll have a look at a discussion between another member of the ANC who's now trying to pull back on this claim that they're going to allow quantitative easing. Now, in the image that's attached, you'll see the rand has now crashed through 15 rand to the US dollar. Next stop is 20 rand. I hope you guys have bought physical gold or physical silver, because that's based on US dollar and it will protect the value of your money. Keeping it in rands it's basically like just digging a big hole and throwing a portion of your money in the big hole and burying it because it's gone. Because this ANC government has totally screwed up South Africa and the economy. And it ain't going to get any better. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates and have a great evening. Bye for now.
The ANC has had mixed messages on what the mandate of the South African Bank should be. I'm joined now in studio by the party's spokesperson, Pule Mabe, to try and get the real story. What is the position of the party in as far as the Reserve Bank mandate is concerned, Mr. Mabe?
Well, the mandate of the Reserve Bank, Collie, let me start by greeting your viewers. The mandate of the Reserve Bank is still as is, to maintain price stability. That has not changed, and to make sure that it contributes towards balanced and sustainable economic growth.
Was there a resolution taken, therefore, at the three-day Lekgotla to revisit that mandate?
Well, there is not necessarily revisiting of the mandate.
Or expand the mandate, let me use your words.
I mean, it is what we would have said is that explore possibilities of expanding that mandate to also go beyond looking at price stability, to also look at issues of growth. Perhaps,
Mr. Mabe, I think I've got to come in here, because the language you're using is much more toned down, if you like, from what the Secretary General said yesterday. I'm not sure if the team actually could try and just pick out that specific soundbite from the Secretary General. We have been running with the story. Are you seeking to soften the blow of what the Secretary General has said yesterday? Because he seems quite clear that this is a resolution of that three-day Lekgotla. We actually have it. Let's have a listen first before we continue.
It was agreed that all employees will ensure that resolutions of the National Conference NASREC will be implemented. And because nationalization, this and that, and it says will be fully implemented, and the NEC Lekgotla also agreed to expand the mandate of South African Reserve Bank beyond price stability to include.
Mr. Mabe, there are your words. Expand.
Correct.
That's what he says the Lekgotla has decided. What do you say?
Correct. We are expressing exactly that point. But remember that all those things, if they are to take place in the context of that expansion, it will not be done by the ANC. It will have to be done by government.
Do employees of the ANC in government agree with that? Because the finance minister, one of the key deployees of the party in a very crucial ministry. We're in the middle of an economic crisis, Mr. Mabe.
Yes.
The GDP has declined to
Yes.
3, or has contracted
Yes.
by 3.2%. Never seen before since 10 years.
Well, what we are now doing, Koli, is to make sure that we bring all of our comrades together, be it the head of ETC, our deployees in government in the form of the Minister of Finance, together with the SGO at Lituli House, to make sure that all of us are reading from one script. It is important that at all material times we communicate one singular message.
Mr. Mabe, this has been happening for,
Yes.
this is the second time in a row now that the
Yes.
ANC issues contradictory messages after
Well,
a meeting. Surely that doesn't inspire confidence to South Africans who are looking for change, serious change.
Well, I can tell you now, the ANC has not issued any statement retracting the statement it issued. The ANC had only issued one statement.
So which is the way to go? Expand the Reserve Bank mandate?
The statement we issued in the African National Congress, which was read out by the ANC Secretary General at Lituli House, is the statement of the African National Congress. We have not issued any other statement.
Will that be ratified, or will that be agreed upon by the President of the ANC? Will the President of the ANC agree with that if already you have contradictions?
Well, Koli, I think that we are throwing ourselves into a different turf. What I was seeking to do was to confirm that we have not issued. If you saw any other statement outside that which we issued yesterday, it's not a sanctioned statement. The statement of the ANC.
But I think you can appreciate the difficulty in believing what the ANC is saying, because there seems to be two different parties here.
That's why we made ourselves available, because we respect the work that you are doing to make sure that we disseminate information truthfully and objectively. We appreciate, let me just make this point, we appreciate that comrades could have different views on the approach of the African National Congress on the matter, but that does not warrant public spate. If cadres of the movement have got different issues on an issue that the African National Congress shall have pronounced officially in that way through the Secretary General, the address of the ANC has not changed. Cadres of the movement are welcomed to deposit their views. What enriches the work that the ANC does is when we all work together as one. We are all clear on what is the mandate of the Reserve Bank. We are also all clear on the kind of challenges that we assist with as a country, one of whom are unemployment. I mean, when the economy contracts like that, it poses a great, serious burden on our ability to generate the sort of jobs we want. And remember that at the Lekgotla,
and right
we
now
said,
you're not inspiring confidence with these
but I'm trying to address that point. If we were not confident with
what are you going to do with the members who are issuing contradictory messages, or who have contradicted this official statement that you said?
Well, I can tell you now that there's already been engagement. The SG has already reached out to the chairperson of ETC. I know that in the shortest space of time, there is going to be internal engagements to make sure that, I mean, we've been just last week, we were talking on how comrades should be using social media platforms. We expect our cadres who have got access to such platforms to use those platforms to communicate and convey messages that will be able to unite the ANC and consolidate the renewal project.
We're out of time, but why should South Africans believe you when you say you're going to halve the unemployment rate from 27.6, where it sits, to 14% in 5 years?
Well, one of the things that we have, the biggest highlights coming out of the Lekgotla is to create a 3-shift system. Make sure that we've got an economy that does not sleep. So currently now you only have a 2-shift system. It means that you are going to have the first 8 hours, have another 8 hours, and have the last 8 hours. Actually, I was talking to a colleague here, I was talking to Comrade Zizi this morning, we're even saying actually it means that you'll have 25 hours worth of work. Now, this is very important, and you are doing that to try and make sure that you could be able to use the energy of our youth, especially in the industrial and productive sector, so they could play a role that could contribute towards economic stability. So this Lekgotla was really firm. We even said that it is important that we stabilize ESCOM. But the other important thing that we raised...
How do you plan to do that with ESCOM? Very quickly, because the CEO is actually gone.
Well, of course, that's why we said the kind of investment you make, the sort of skills you attract to be able to
what
do
is going
work,
to stabilize ESCOM, Mr.
Well, there's quite a number of things. There's already a turnaround strategy in place.
It's not being implemented as far as...
That's why these engagements are taking place, Tuli. That's why these engagements are taking place. Remember, you must first develop a plan. Make sure that everyone buys into that plan. Once the plan is understood and it's funded, all you do is to make sure that it is then infused into the organization and it becomes part of your own corporate culture. I can assure you that you are going to start seeing quite a lot of changes. But the other important point that we wanted to make was that part of the things that came out in the Lekgotla was to make sure that we've got one integrated planning where we take our own manifesto, we take what we shall have said in the IDP, we take our different IDPs in municipalities, the NDP, the National Development Plan. You also take your medium strategic framework, which then begins to guide planning at a level of government and bring them all as one and say, what are the things that you are going to do which will be able to drive the kind of growth that you want? And which is what the ANC has done through this statement.
Mr. Mabe, thank you very much for your time.